You're listening to Fathers Handling Business, where fatherhood meets real talk and real solutions. Here are your hosts, Cali and Donté, ready to dive deep into the art and science of parenting. Let's get started and empower the dad in you.
Once you have a child, it's a 20-year project. That is if they do well. Otherwise, it's a lifelong project.
Yeah.
So, we must understand it's not about the volume of time that you spend. If you spend too much time, they'll get sick of you. It is the way you relate to them. Being I'm a mother, when you say this and you want to raise your child, you can raise only cattle. A human being cannot be raised. If you raise a human being, he will be just like a cattle. He or she will be just like a flock. You should not raise. You must cultivate and watch what is going to blossom. But raising means you already fixed what they should become. Don't ever fix that. This is a crime against you.
Hey, LeBron is doing a horrible job of being a father.
No, he is not. That's cap.
That's not cap.
That is 1,000% cap.
No, that's not baseball cap. That's not.
Man, somebody send the ambulance over here to check on my boy because he over here tripping, talking about LeBron as a terrible father.
I didn't say he was a terrible father. I say he's doing a terrible job
He said-
at fathering.
Man, yeah, he said that.
Yeah. Because just like my man said, it's a crime against humanity what he's doing to his son right now. His son should be in the G League. His son should not be.
He is in the G League. He kills in the G League.
No, he's on the Lakers, bro.
He's on the Lakers and he plays down in the G League.
Yeah, but he only played like 5-10 games. Like, they boosted his numbers in the G League because he only played like 7 games or something. He didn't even play that many games.
Time out. You can't boost someone's. What are you talking about? They boosted his numbers. He got what he got.
But I'm saying, like, he got what he got, but I'm saying that he only played 7 games, so his averages are higher than somebody who played all 40 games or whatever, right? Because he didn't have to play the whole season in the G League. He only played, if you add up his numbers, he only got like 2 points in the regular, and he's just playing garbage time in a playoff game. And my boy was like, "Oh man, Bron Jr.'s in. We suck." Like, yeah, man. Yeah, I text him like, "Yo, he getting valuable playoff experience."
No, listen, man.
Like, he should be on a different team, or he should just be in the G League. Like, go dominate the G League. He didn't dominate the G League. He had a couple of good games in the G League, but he need to go dominate the G League and kind of be separate from, like, what was my man saying? If you spend too much time with them, he gonna be, they get tired of you. Like, he's not separating himself from being, because once LeBron retires, he out of here. Out of here.
So you think that once LeBron retires,
Out of here.
which is when? When do you think LeBron's going to retire?
Maybe a year or 2.
I say 3 years because if we all know LeBron, he's going to try to play. He's going to try to get Bryce on the team,
Okay.
and he's going to try to do what nobody will ever do:
Have two
two sons on the same team.
That's actually kind of dope.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. Even as a Laker fan, and I know it's wrong, right?
Okay.
But I'm not mad at it.
As long as you know it's wrong.
I know it's
so
wrong,
you're
but I'm
admitting
not.
that LeBron is bad at fathering right
No,
now.
that has nothing to do with
Right
fathering.
now.
That's bad business on the Lakers side.
No, it's great business. No. I disagree with you 100% there. It's great business because it's a great story.
Or it is a great story.
Basketball
But
is
I'm talking about-
entertainment.
I'm talking
and
about-
entertainment is stories, and this is a great story, but it's bad for basketball.
I'm talking about in the terms of having a winning team, right? That's going to compete for a championship. It's bad for that.
Oh.
Now, business-wise, yeah. Are they going to sell jerseys? Absolutely. Bron sold $50 million in jerseys his first week being in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bronny played against who he played against in the G League, and then he played against who he played against when he played with the actual Lakers, okay?
Right.
There's a
Garbage time.
There's a level of professionalism
Okay.
when it comes, and I'm talking about in terms of skill,
Okay.
when he plays up with the Lakers as opposed to playing down in the G League. So, yes, his numbers are going to be elevated in the G League because he is better than a lot of the players in the G League. His confidence is much more heightened when he plays down in the G League because he's been playing against a higher skill set when he plays with the Lakers. Now, yes, he plays garbage time.
Yes.
That's all coaching. Like he ain't checking himself in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when they did check him in the game in regular minutes, like he was getting goosey
because he's not there yet.
That's my point. He is not an NBA player yet.
I'm saying he's not.
He's not an NBA player.
Yeah, but there's a bunch
yet.
of players. There is a bunch of players who are on teams who may have been there at one point, but they don't deserve to still be there. But they're there now, and they may not even be. They may not even be playing. They just may be on the roster. They be on the bench. They never get off the bench, but they're there.
Okay.
So what does that say? Like, and I feel like LeBron can do more than they can.
Bron Jr.?
Yeah.
That's just delusional.
No, bro.
That's
all
just
right,
delusional.
so let's talk about people who never got off the bench this year.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Shoe King. What's the name?
King.
The Shoe King.
PJ Tucker?
Yes. Bro.
What about him? Like, PJ Tucker's done some incredible things in the league.
In the past. I'm talking about right now.
Okay, but he's earned his stripes.
I understand he earned his stripes.
Okay.
But none of that matters in the present. He's not better than Bronny right now.
Stop it.
He's not.
Stop it.
PJ Tucker is not better than Bronny right now.
Stop it.
Bro.
Stop it. Are you okay?
How come he hasn't got off the bench?
What side of the bed did you wake up
How
today?
come he hasn't got off the bench?
He doesn't need to play.
So why are you on the team?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, like in the NBA, they really, first of all, it's contracts. That's the first thing. It's
Okay.
contracts because they're guaranteed, and then two, it's they need veterans. They need locker room guys.
I understand
which
that.
Bronny is not one.
I understand.
I don't know
totally
how he
get
is
that.
in the locker room, but I'm saying like he's not a vet.
No,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
totally get that. I understand.
He's not
that.
a vet. Like you got to have vets. Just like Marcus Morris Sr. Maybe it's his brother. I can't remember the other one.
The one that's on the
One's on ESPN. The other one's on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like he don't play,
Yeah,
but he been in the league for a long time.
but he's
a
also
professional.
better. He's also better than Bronny right now.
Yeah. So is PJ Tucker though.
No, he's not,
Stop it.
bro. Oh my goodness,
I don't believe that.
He's not.
But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to what is this man's name?
I don't know the
I
dude's
see him
name.
all the time. It's an Indian dude.
He's some type of guru.
He's some type of guru, and he's talking about raising cattle versus raising children. And I guess I see his point. Like, you don't want to raise them to be something that they already are predetermined. But I just think that's kind of semantics.
Well, he's saying like the whole gist of it is like we get caught up in trying to raise a younger version of ourselves, right? Oh man, I'm guilty, bro.
Oh, okay.
I could tell you right now, I'm guilty, in especially in the beginning, like even before my son was born. Let's just go back to even when I knew that I was gonna have a son,
Okay.
bro. I had like all these things planned out. Like, all right, I'm gonna make sure that this happens, and we're gonna do this and that and the third, and like I had all these things planned out, right?
Okay.
Definitely wanted my son to be a hooper, all these things, right?
Okay.
But we can't. What he's saying is we can't get caught up in trying to predetermine and trying to fix everything that our kids are actually supposed to experience on their own. So like we can cultivate, meaning like we can prepare. It's almost like growing plants, right? You can prepare the grounds.
Yeah.
You know, we plant the seed. That's like information, or some people might call it domestication, whatever you want to call it. And we can water it, but then we gotta let God do the rest and just watch the kid grow.
Right. So what I hear you saying is that you wanted to raise a baby you.
Yeah, well, not even just that. I think I got caught up in making sure that my kids don't experience a lot of the pain that I had, right?
But it only experienced all the good stuff that you had.
Correct.
Okay. So for me, I was opposite. Not opposite, because obviously I didn't want them to experience the pain, but like I didn't even want my son to be called Junior. Like that's how much I was like, no, like I want him to have his own name, right? I want him to have his own identity.
But
you
ain't
know?
isn't he DJ?
Yeah, but I'm saying like I did not want that wasn't the name that I chose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't want him to be a junior, right? I wanted him to have his own name.
Okay.
So I went into it once I knew that I was having a son. Like I went into it like I want him to have his own identity, want him to do his own thing. If he's a hooper, cool. If he's into music, that's cool. If he's not, that's cool too. But at the same time, you got to understand that they are products of their environment and what they see. So if I'm a
absolutely.
hooper, you know what I'm saying, and I like basketball, and he's gonna automatically at least have his interest peaked because he knows that his dad is into it. He may
Right.
not turn into a basketball player, but same thing with Batman. Like I was super into Batman when
Me
I was
too.
young, right?
I'm
And
still into
so,
Batman.
My middle son, that's what he gravitated towards.
Okay.
Right? Like when he used to have this one Batman shirt that he literally wore every single day. Like his mom got tired of washing it. It was so wrinkly and
Faded, probably.
faded and had the BDBs on it, but he didn't care. He wore it every single day.
Oh my goodness.
Like he was Batman out. You know what I'm saying?
Does he still like Batman to this day?
Not like that. Not
Yeah.
like that. I mean, we talking about when he was in 5th, 6th grade, something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the hats, he had the shirts, he had the even when I cut his hair, he wanted a Batman. I cut a Batman symbol
Oh,
into
really?
his head multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't make him love Batman, but I introduced him to Batman because I was into Batman. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, same thing with the music. Like my younger son, he wanted to, be a bass player. So I got him a bass. But, he knew that I did music. You know what I'm saying? I had him in my arm rapping, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
in the studio sometimes with me. You feel me? So I feel like we don't have to predetermine, like it's already predetermined. You know what I'm saying? Like we are in the environments that we're in. And a lot of times when you see people who are prodigies, there's this little girl, I can't remember her name right now, but she is super dope on the piano, right? Super dope. Like Beyonce is sending her stuff. Like she's doing all these kind of things. She's only like 7 or 8.
Oh, wow.
Right. And she's been on the news, like she's doing concerts, like she can hear everything by ear. But when you go look at her page, her dad was playing notes for her when she was in the womb. You see what I'm saying? Like, and so she knew how to tell notes by ear at like 1 and 2. Not because she was a prodigy, but because her dad was instilling this into her.
He planted the seed.
He planted the seed and he was going and going and going. So is she going to grow up to be a concert pianist? Probably. You know what I'm saying? Is she going to grow up to be a world-class pianist? Probably. So did he raise her to do that, or did he predetermine, or like what was he supposed to do? Like that's what he knew.
Right.
So we can only instill in our kids what we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're cultivators, we're teachers. It's it's a matter of like also knowing when to take a step back, right? And I think that I'm at that stage with my son in terms of I planted the seeds, I watered, and now I have to kind of sit back and watch them grow. I got to prune. I have to help him prune the things that, I see like could be an issue, as he continues to grow so that, better things can grow, better fruit can grow, as opposed to him carrying some stuff along the way that doesn't need to be carried. But other than that, like, I think the biggest thing is making sure that I don't try to do everything for him. I don't like this guru said, like, I'm not trying to raise a younger version of myself, or I'm not trying to raise these kids, but, cultivating and then watching them grow.
Yeah, I don't. I disagree with that only because, and the little girl's name is Zoe Ariana. She's 8 years old. She's been on America Got Talent. She's been on ABC World News, Good Morning America, Tamron Hall. Like, she's nasty. You know what I'm saying? But again, like, all the father did, in my opinion, was like, what was Jesus's father? A carpenter. So he trained Jesus up to be a carpenter.
Right.
Jesus ultimately, his profession was a carpenter, but he still went into his calling.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which was, the ministry and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But, as a family business, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with raising your children in the family business, whatever that is. And I know that we live in a different type of time, but your family business really is whatever you know, whatever you're expert at. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I'm
there's gonna be things that our kids are blessed with that we're not blessed with. And
Sure, but Jesus was still a carpenter
yeah, I understand that. Like, that's what he
because
did.
his father was a carpenter.
That's what his father was. But do you think that Jesus could have did something else?
No.
Why not?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why not? Like, no, because his father was a carpenter, so he was raised as a carpenter, but he was obviously blessed with something else.
Right.
So he did something else later on in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where, yes, they're going to have to choose their own path. Like your son is, you wanted him to be a hooper, but he's a baseball player.
Right.
He doesn't want to hoop.
Right.
Which is totally fine. Right?
Yeah.
But, you taught him the family business, which was hooping. You know what I'm saying?
And he quickly was like, after 2 years, was like, yeah, I want to do baseball.
Right.
I
Exactly.
want to do soccer and baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Two things that I did not play and knew nothing about.
He knew nothing about. But you adjusted, and now you're a baseball dad.
Baseball dad, yeah.
You're a baseball dad, you know what I'm saying? And a track dad. You know what I'm saying? Out
Yeah.
there with the Capri Suns after track practice. I remember them days.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you ever run track?
I did.
Oh, okay.
4
okay.
years in high school, 4 years in college.
Oh, okay. Oh, what?
Yeah.
You ran track in college?
Yeah. Well, I mostly jumped. I did a few events running, but I got recruited to jump.
Oh, you was a long jumper?
Long and triple, yeah.
Oh, that's hard. I
Yeah.
never met nobody that was a long jumper.
Yeah. But in high school, my first high school that I went to, I had one of the best track coaches ever.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was a beast.
Wow.
And then the second high school I went to, which literally was the next year, I had a coach. Bless his heart. I know he was just, filling in because nobody else would do it. He knew nothing
About track?
Oh man, I taught myself how to long and triple.
Oh, wow.
Let's just put it that way. And I taught myself in terms of triple jump the wrong way for 4 straight years. Or actually, I didn't start jumping until my sophomore year, so for 3 straight years.
Oh, see, that's why you got growing problems now, because you was jumping the wrong way in high school.
And my it didn't click until my senior year in college, where I finally got it's because, man, triple jump is all about technique, right?
Yeah, man, it looks tough.
Yeah, it is.
It looks tough.
It is tough on the
like
body.
now that you said that, like all your groin problems just like clicked for me, because I'm like, yo, how does this dude have groin problems all the time? But yeah, you was out here triple jumping, bro.
Triple jumping.
Like you was literally stretching your groin. Like
I know, but it was more stress on my knees and my ankles more than anything. It's crazy.
yeah. But y'all got that soft landing in the track though. It's not the hardwood
No, but
or the concrete.
in triple jump is brutal. Like if they were like, "Hey, we have an alumni meet, come jump," I'd be like, "I'll do one long jump
Nah,
and
you don't
zero
see no,
triple
you don't
jumps."
see no old jumpers.
No, I mean up until like what, like 5 years ago, I was still going. I was
still jumping?
I was still jumping. I would go every year
wild.
to my alma mater, and I will compete in the long jump.
Compete what?
Like in the all comers meet. Like they will have all comers meet where anybody can like.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you place?
Yeah, sometimes I was jumping further than the current like
Wow.
athletes. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's why you got the groin problems, bro. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Wow. Yeah, see, I ran track, but I ran track for a club.
Okay.
I didn't run it. I didn't run for high school. I ran for a club, and I was a long distance guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a sprinter. I was slow.
Man, so why you every time I'm out here trying to run half marathons, you're like, what? No.
No, I did it, but didn't you just hear me say I didn't run in high school?
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't like it. I don't like running.
Oh, you don't like running.
I don't like running.
No one
I
likes
did it.
running. I mean,
No, there's people who love running.
I have a
who get up.
love-hate relationship with
Yeah,
running.
who get up and let's hit the pavement. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got all the Nike apps and the watches. There's people that love running. Dog.
I hate the thought of running until I actually am outside and I take my first 3 steps, and then I'm like, all right, I love it.
Like when I was running, I ran so fast at long distance because I wanted it to be over with. Like that's why I was running. Like even when I was in the military, I always had the fastest mile and a half. Like that was all we had to run was a mile and a half.
Okay.
And that was our qualifying. And I was always like, oh, I'm out. I was like, yo, I want this to be over with.
Oh man.
And like as you get older in the military, you only got to do it once per year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you pass or get like 100, then you don't really got to do PT or anything like that during the regular times.
Oh wow.
So I always made sure I got 100 on my PT test, so I never had to do any PT, like structured PT, because I was always hooping or lifting.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else had to be out there in the mornings, going to PT in the mornings. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this, dog. That's just me though. I was like, nah.
All right, so you saying you don't agree with do you agree with the cultivating part at least?
Of course.
So you agree with the cultivating part. In terms of talking about LeBron, right? Mm-hmm. So you're saying that he's not doing a great job.
I know that there's this feud between Stephen A. and LeBron, and I actually agree with Stephen A. on this.
What part do you agree?
I feel like I said, this is just because LeBron's a public figure and he's out there. You know what I'm saying? I never really like to poo-poo fathers who are doing their best. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for the sake of argument, right, I feel like Bron should have just left him on the G League. Like, the first game was cool. Like, they got in the game together. It was a great moment. It was great for entertainment. It was great for TV. Like, I was clapping just like everybody else. Like, that's dope. Like, he got his son on the team.
But how do you know it's LeBron doing it and not a coaching decision?
What are you talking about, bro? Like, do you not understand that JJ Redick and LeBron
I understand they had a
are
podcast.
close like me and you because they did a podcast together?
I understand that.
All right, then. So we're not going to sit here and act like it's not a coaching decision.
He's assuming this. He don't know for sure. He's assuming.
Me and you having a conversation. Look, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, what you think about? Oh, yeah, that's what's up. We're going to do it. Like, if I was the coach of your son's team, I'm going to make sure that your son gets the shine that he deserves just because me and you were tight like that. So let's not act like it's a coaching decision. It's not like it's Phil Jackson.
Yes, but I'm saying, but at what point?
At what point
does JJ Redick make the best decision for the team? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, okay, like you here, you made it, mm-hmm. But if you're going to get in the game, we need to be up by 20, 30 points.
Yeah, that's what he does. He only puts them in at garbage time. And the crowd goes crazy when Bron is in, and when Bron is in. When baby Bron, Bron Jr., Bronny, is in the game, every time he touches the ball, the crowd goes crazy.
Right.
When it goes in, the crowd is going bananas. So that's also a general manager owner decision as well.
I agree.
Like, put Bronny in the game when we're up. When we're up and we're
Yes.
going to win this game, put Bronny in the game because the fans love him. People are buying his jerseys, et cetera, et
They
cetera.
want to see him
so
succeed.
I don't think that
because
it's a
there's so
coach's
many
decision.
haters. Because there's so many haters, they want to see him succeed. Not just LeBron. Everybody wants to see Bronny succeed.
I get that.
Laker haters too.
I get that, but it's not even about like I don't hate. I'm not even a hater, right? Like I'm just talking about developing an NBA player, NBA caliber player. Everybody, like I don't care what nobody says. We all know that if his name was not LeBron James and he played at USC only 4, 5, 6 games and averaged like 7 points or something crazy, right? He's not going in the first round or second round. He's not going.
Yes,
like he's
we
gonna
know-
have to
we
get it out
know-
the mud like Fred VanVleet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not drafted, gonna have to go to these camps and he's gonna have to get it out the mud.
We
and
understand.
Stay.
We
Okay, so we
understand.
understand that. So all I'm saying is that you got him on the team. He got paid. They made their money back with the jersey sales.
Yeah.
Okay, now let him go into the shadows and work. Right? Like I think if he would have just stayed in the G League, not came into the league, not playing in garbage time, if he would have just stayed in the G League this year, became the G League MVP, then next year he actually would have been a rotation player.
So let me get this straight. Because you just said it yourself. It's a GM. It's a
Ownership.
ownership, right?
Yeah.
Also decision.
Right.
So we're aside from getting him, aside from being LeBron and getting Bronny on the actual Lakers,
Right.
what other decision are you trying to tell me that he has had? And right? Because you just said it's a money making thing. The fans love them.
Yup.
Jerseys,
Yup.
all that.
All that.
They're making their money back,
All that.
right? Where does LeBron fit in this?
LeBron could have easily have said, let's do this first game. He got paid. Let's do this first game. Let's make it a spectacle as it was, right? And he could have easily said, yo, let's just put him in the G League.
So on this I don't want to say timeline, but this platform of being a cultivator or being
A razor.
a raiser, yeah, right?
Yeah, I think he could have cultivated him. I think that Bronny came to the light, his phototropic nature, too soon. I think that he should have been in his gravitropic nature, which means that he was in the mud, in the ground, growing his roots, not being seen by anybody, just in the G League, right? I think if he would have grown his roots down there, like he would have had stronger roots so that when LeBron leaves, like I'm telling you, bro, when LeBron leaves, whether it's in 2 years, whether it's in 3 years, like Bronny is going to be fighting for his life. Like he's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be
I think that's one of the biggest reasons why all of this happened in the first place, because he was fighting for his life.
right. Well,
when he went
was
down at
literally-
USC, yeah.
literally he was fighting for his life. But I'm talking about his NBA life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like his NBA status. And I just feel like if LeBron would have just said, hey, first game, cool. Now let's put him in the G League. Let him be without me and shine by himself on his own. He could have easily been the G League MVP. You see what I'm saying? Like he could have went in there and went crazy in the G League. And then there would have been no haters. Everybody been like, okay, he solidified. He did what he had to do. And now he's a solid, legitimate rotation player.
All right, so I'm gonna throw some names out there, two in particular. And I don't want to see if you think that these players are better than Bronny right now.
Okay.
Number one, Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
He's better than okay.
100%.
So, and he just declared for the NBA today.
Okay. Congratulations.
So he's going to be the projected number 1 pick.
But he could have went. He could have went without going to Duke.
You think he went straight from?
He could have. He could have went straight
from the
like
academy.
if this was a different league, like he could have. He could have went straight. Yeah.
What you mean if it was a different league?
Well, you know, it's the rule still.
No, they can go now.
What?
Yes.
When did they change that?
Like a year or two ago. Like, yeah.
I don't remember who went from high school. I don't remember anybody going from straight from high school.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they changed that yet.
They didn't change
I know that they put it in the CBA, but I don't know if it went into effect yet. If that makes sense.
I might be wrong. I thought that they changed the back.
I know that they were going to, and I know that they probably put that in the new CBA, but I don't know if that actually went into effect yet.
Okay.
Because, like I said, Cooper Flag could have definitely went into the league, right? even Wemby wasn't. He had to play in France for a year or two.
You got to be 19 years old.
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
So that's 1 year removed from high school.
Yeah.
Most people graduated 17, 18. So
Yeah.
you got to be 1 year removed from high school.
Okay.
Basically.
Sorry. So the other name, actually, I don't even know his first name, but Gilbert Arenas' son. He's still in high school.
He's still in high school.
Senior.
He's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen enough tape on him. I saw him and he's tall.
Dude, I seen some film of him going at some of the NBA greats right now.
Yeah. And he was going crazy.
He was cooking.
Yeah, he was cooking.
He was cooking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
even
like better than I would say
Anthony's son.
Better than
Kyron. I don't know his name, but
which Anthony? Oh, Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His son
yeah.
is nice too.
Cooking.
I think they all better than Bronny.
He was cooking at this age. He was definitely better than Gilbert. I played against Gilbert. He was in our league in high school.
Okay.
So I played against Gilbert twice a year. And Gilbert, like, he was a bucket. I mean, our league was whack compared to other leagues.
Right.
So, and they showed him no respect because he wasn't an inner city. He wasn't at an inner city school. But he proved everyone wrong. Like, he always carried a chip on his shoulder. So I hopefully, his son has that too.
Right.
I mean,
he's tall though, isn't he?
He is tall. I'm not sure how tall he is, but he is tall. But he didn't go to an inner city school like Gilbert. He went to Chatsworth, which is in the Valley.
Okay.
So he's a Valley kid, just like Gil. And so, but
Gil's from here? Gil's from LA?
Yeah, Gil. He went to Grant High School, so in the San Fernando Valley. So that's
okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. And then from there he went to Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, I know he went to Arizona. I didn't know that he was from LA though.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he was born in Florida, and then he came out here.
Yeah. I mean, but I would say half the league now, and when I say half the league, I mean the other half of the league, because half the league is European players.
Yeah, and they're all good.
And they all are nice. And then the other half of the league, so half of the league, so we're talking about basically 25 to 30%, is all like NBA player sons or athlete sons.
Some type of athlete son, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you really look at the draft, when you look at the draft, or I looked at it last year and the year before, it's all, I hate to say this, but it's all, light skin, you know what I'm saying? Light skin former athlete sons with white mothers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I even watched I watched the Boston Celtics yesterday, and they were interviewing Derek White. You know what I'm saying? And then they gave him his son, and his wife was right there, and it's just a, just white lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when he grows up, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna continue the cycle.
Continue.
Just more, beige people in the league. You know what I'm saying? But so that really means that less than 25% of the league is people who are just getting it out the mud. So it's really tough.
It is very tough.
It's really, and now even Domantas Sabonis, you know what I'm saying? He's a European player, son.
Yeah. No, so you're right about, like, And I think I was listening to David Silver talk about like 10% of the NBA they're born in Africa or from Africa.
Oh yeah,
or have
African
African
players now
Yeah.
too. So forget the European players, like the European players, and now the African players
Yeah.
are coming up. So it's going to be very, very hard for American players to get into the league.
Well, going back to the beginning of this episode, and we were talking about cultivation,
Cultivation,
right? As fathers, we have to do a better job at doing exactly what he said, right? We plant the seed, we cultivate the ground, right?
Well, we plant the seed. Well, we plant the seed. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Actually, literally,
Yeah.
right? But, preparing the grounds to cultivate the seed, right? And then we water, and then we watch it grow.
Okay.
And then we prune along the way, right?
Okay.
I think raising children in America is hard, really, really hard, because they have so much like stimulation through screens, and it does not allow them to sit in the mud, like you say, and really take root and just grind it out. Like they don't know what that is, bro. They don't know. And if we're talking about, these up and coming players who are who have, fathers who played in the league already, do you think that they had to grit and grind at all in terms of like sacrifice, like not sacrifice, but like struggling?
You talking about the players themselves?
I'm talking about their
sons?
their kids, yeah.
No.
No, right?
No, but they have the advantage as far as training because they have trainers at young ages. Like
They do.
a lot of them are being trained by Lethal Shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they're 5, 10, 15 years old. And so somebody who's just an inner city kid who doesn't have that,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, doesn't have that coaching, that constant everyday, like I said, like the little girl, Zoe, you know what I'm saying? Like her father was on her from day one, you know what I'm saying? And he's on her every day. Like you can go back in all of their things. Like he's like, all right, let's play this game. Let's figure out what this note is. And he just play a note, and she'd be like, that's A sharp, C minor. I'm like, dang, she's nice. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about a 5-year-old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's 8 now, but I'm talking about like when those things were going on. And so not everybody has those type of parents, first of all.
Yes, that's true.
And that's what I mean by they have the advantage, because even if the NBA player is not the greatest parent or whatever, they are going to provide the resources.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they're not the greatest teacher, or maybe they're not the greatest
Maybe
coach.
they're not the greatest teacher or coach, but they know who the greatest teachers
and you're
coaches
right. They
are.
do have the advantage because most kids don't want to listen to their parents.
Exactly.
They really don't.
But they'll listen to a coach.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, they don't want to, especially at this age, especially at the preteen, teen age.
Yep.
They're asserting their dominance. Excuse me. I always say like they go through different stages of being a toddler, right?
Yeah.
So the actual toddler when they're trying to figure out life, right? And then like the 10, 11, 12 when they're trying to figure out their body.
Yeah.
And then the 15 to 17 when they're trying to figure out who they are as a man and they want to test you.
Yeah.
And then after that, like the 19, 20 when they're trying to figure out who they are as an adult, being an adult.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Living the life, So they go through different stages of being a toddler, basically just trying to figure it out,
Right.
And a lot of those times are rebellion. All those times are rebellion
Right.
against their parents. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So having those resources of having somebody outside to teach them, sometimes they gravitate more towards that,
Yeah.
And they always end up appreciating their parents later. Not always, but
usually years later. Years
usually years later,
when they're in the mid-20s.
some people get lucky, and they appreciate it and some kids are more intuitive and they appreciate it along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it is tough with all the screens that we didn't have.
Yes, exactly. We was outside.
We was outside, but we had different things to distract us. We had bikes and skateboards and Nintendo.
That wasn't a
and-
distraction. That was
a distraction because if we were trying to achieve a certain goal, you know what I'm saying, which would be, I don't know, making it to the league or something like that, like you would have to
bikes is exercise, bro. We're building up our leg strength.
It's a distraction if you're trying to reach a goal.
It's not if you exercise them.
Nah, I'm not trying to hear that, bro.
Bro.
I'm not trying to hear going to see dead bodies and going to the woods and skipping rocks and doing all that. That's a distraction, bro. That's a distraction from your goal. If your goal is to make it to the league or if your goal is to be the best basketball player, you can't go outside and play with your friends. You got to be in here.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you can.
It's the same. It's the same. I disagree because I feel like it's the same whether you going outside, shooting the breeze with your homeboys, being on the block, not doing nothing, or being in the woods. Like, you're not practicing your goal.
Yeah, but who's to say that they didn't take care of business first and then they went to go chill? You know what I'm saying?
You could say that now. Like, who's to say that they didn't take care of business first before they got on the phone and started messing with their screen? Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's the addiction part. Like, we not out in the woods all like for hours. Like for
we was, bro. We was outside, bro. We was outside.
Bro, I know kids who, if you let these kids, bro, they will play. If you're like, all right, like. If you like, all right, we'll be back. We'll be back tonight, like
gonna be
all day long.
Yeah, they're gonna be on their phone or playing video games all day long. But on Saturdays, when our parents kicked us out the house, where were we? We was outside.
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like that's a part of I feel like that's a part of developing as a
you can
as a
feel
young
that way,
man.
but it's still a distraction from the main goal, which would be, achieve whatever your goal is, which would be the best soccer player, the best baseball player, the best basketball player. You're not out there outside putting up jump shots. You wasn't doing that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. You wasn't.
Not for
Exactly.
hours on end, but I was out there. I took care of business.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent more time. I would say, at least outside, and even training than I did on video games. I could tell you that.
Training on video games?
No, training either like for basketball.
Okay.
Or outside. Let's just like outside, whatever. Even if
Okay.
it meant outside, like hooping.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily like training, but just playing. Like I would set up like basketball tournaments if it was like, oh, we got a full day, like we ain't got no school. Like, all right, like everybody meet at the middle school.
But was your goal trying to get to the league at that time?
I mean, I always said I want to be in the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, but my distraction wasn't video games; it was girls. So
Yeah, exactly. We all had distractions. So I know that for us it was different distractions, but
Yeah.
I feel like we harp too much on the screens and stuff like that because my distraction and our distraction, that made me have kids. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and my kids' distraction, they ain't even think about girls.
yeah,
So it's different. It's the same as far as distraction, but it they ain't got no kids. So I would take their distraction any day. They don't have no life altering. They ain't got to pay no child support. You know what I'm saying? They can buy what they want. Like I told you before, my son went and bought him a BMW at 20. What is he? 22 now. And I'm so happy for him. Like I couldn't do that at 22 because I had to change his diapers.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I spent my $100,000 raising him.
Yeah.
You feel me? And he gets to spend his money on a drop top BM. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't mad at you, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hated that you was on the video games all the time, but I love that, you know what I'm saying? Now you growing up and you can spend your money on the things you want to spend it on instead of having to take care of a child and deal with baby mamas and, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. So,
right. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot that goes into what this guy is saying, and I think that each parent, obviously, they're different, and their kids are going to be different,
Right.
and you gotta figure out, how you're going to reach them, and at what point are you, still just cultivating as opposed to raising,
Yeah.
So there's
100%.
there's that line that each parent has to, take a look in the mirror and say, like, all right. And I know, like, me myself, like, I know that with my daughter, and she's younger, like, she still needs me. I'm still going to, I'm still in the watering phase, right?
Right.
With my son, like, I'm watering a little bit less right now.
Right.
And
Now it's the pruning. You got to just prune them at this point. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, take away the things that are going to hurt them.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
weighing them
saying?
down. That's a
weighing them
distraction.
down.
That's slowing
a
them. Yep.
distraction. Yeah. Because they drain the energy for the things that he needs to be doing.
The true growth. Yep.
The true growth, right? Yeah, that's what's up, man. So that's our show for today. We appreciate y'all checking us out. Cultivation versus raising. I still think, LeBron's not being a good dad right now, but that's neither here nor there.
Hater.
Nah, just playing. I appreciate what he did, and I appreciate the nepotism. It's good to see it. So that's our show for today. Fathers Handling Business. I'm Cali, that's Donté. We'll check y'all next time.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found our discussion enlightening and empowering as you navigate the rewarding journey of fatherhood. Don't forget to follow us on socials, join the conversation, and share your own experiences. We're here to support and inspire each other, one episode at a time. Until next time, keep empowering the dad in you.